Don't hire a donkey to paint a portrait. Creating a cohesive picture from blobs and smears of paint is quite an accomplishment. After watching a few episodes of the show Portrait Artist of the Year, I was astounded by the process, so painstaking, so individual. It's a kind of magic. I myself am a great painter of bedrooms and hallways, though I doubt you would have seen my work. My singular talent is freshening up stodgy old rooms with new colors. Then there's my illustrious career as a finger painter in preschool. Even at a young age I showed promise, wielding the subtleties of line and hue like an artisan. I tackled the toughest of symmetries with aplomb. In my heyday, none of the other kids could cover a canvas as well. Some might sneer, "Peaked a little early, though, didn't you?" I don't view it that way. A prodigy is a prodigy is a prodigy, you know what I mean? But seriously, I do appreciate the mind and craft of a portrait artist. Their tools are so simple, but they manage to represent the world in ways that pictures cannot. If you want to reproduce reality, sure, any camera phone will suffice. A painter makes judgments about how and what to portray in a subject, making the portrait a special reality, opinion, emotion, and reality. It connects, or fails to land, on the heart, simultaneously with the eye. Every painting is unique, every subject is different. Imagine a scenario where I hired a donkey to paint portraits. Let's call him Jack. What kind of art could I expect? If I laid a canvas in front of Jack, how would he interact with the paints? The hoof is a clumsy tool for a painter. At best, the colors would be spilled, misapplied, and wasted. The process might make an entertaining YouTube video, but not a portrait. Perhaps I learned from my first attempt, but being committed to my Jack's Portrait Shop idea for the county fair, I created a series of special shoes that I could fasten to Jack's hoof. On the treads of one shoe might be the rubber outline of a smiley face with the words Jack's Genuine Portraiture. On another, a scary face signed Jack's Genuine Portraiture. Just for variety, how about a sad face, one with cat ears, and one with a pirate's eye patch and beard? Then I trained Jack to gently dip his new shoe in red paint and stamp it lightly on a canvas. What will I have then? The best state fair booth gimmick in the world. Step right up, boys and girls. Have your portrait painted by Jack, the donkey. Only $1. Dip, stamp. There you go, kid. One Jack's Genuine Portraiture masterpiece. Hey, mister, that doesn't look like me at all. What are you talking about, kid? Have you gone crazy? Look here. Eyes, nose, mouth, just like you. But that's not a... Get out of here, kid. Jack is a very busy donkey. I think Jack's Genuine Portraiture has great potential. T-shirts are an obvious second line of merchandise, maybe hats. The next step is the Forbes Top 400 Billionaires list. My illustration is ridiculous, intentionally, because no one would hire a donkey to paint legitimate portraits. A hoof is a blunt instrument, and a donkey's brain, even one as brilliant as Jack's, is incapable of specificity and individualization. A portrait requires the agile mind and skillful dexterity of an artist. A donkey is moderately good at two things: stepping on things. In pre-industrial times, Jack would be set to work treading the grain to separate the wheat from the chaff and straw, and carrying about 100 pounds of cargo on his back. In our times, wouldn't it be silly to use a donkey to tread the grain when we have harvesters that can do the work so much faster? Why would anyone keep donkeys for beasts of burden when we have invented machines that can do so much more in most situations? You get the idea. As I look around my world, it seems to me that we have hired a slew of donkeys to paint a lot of portraits. The list of egregious examples is too long to cover here. Maybe I should write a book called Only Doofuses Let Donkeys Paint. Strangely, most of the examples involve the government. I wonder why. Let's just focus on one. Our public education system is so badly designed that we have been stamping out happy, sad, and pirate faces for 100 years. Maybe a cookie-cutter education was the best we could do at the beginning of the compulsory education era 150 years ago, but technology has progressed to the point where we can individualize every child's education and finally treat each child as a portrait instead of an ink stamp. Maybe we should change some things and start serving our children better. I know Jack is a lovable donkey. But let's not anthropomorphize the educational donkey. It wastes half the paint and then comes back every year and begs for more paint, quote, for the children, unquote. If we are honest, we know that underfunding is not the problem. We can observe that this is true by counting the number of leeching organizations, positions, bureaucracies, and decision makers that have affixed themselves to the educational donkey in perpetuity to get their little taste. They screech for more funding. When these people defend the poorly designed status quo, they are looking out for their own futures, not the children's. Like a carnival con man using Jack to bilk little kids out of their spending money. Taxpayers are getting scammed every year, and students are getting robbed of their futures. That may seem harsh. Individuals within the educational bureaucracy likely do have good intentions and are offended by my characterization. But the carnival con man is created by the combined effect of all the members of the system working toward self-preservation. System interests win out over what's best for kids. And don't get me started on good intentions. Good intentions have paved the way to our current broken system of education. And don't forget, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's one of my personal favorites. Maybe we should start designing for efficiency, flexibility, individualization, parent control, rapid error correction, quality, and freedom. I have a feeling that we could make a quality portrait of every child using less paint. The kids wouldn't feel robbed of 13 years and a future. The taxpayer would get more value for their confiscated bucks, and our world would drastically improve. Imagine a system where the funding bypasses experts, professionals, and administrators completely, so they cannot gatekeep anymore. The middleman business is kaput. Voters tell elected officials how much to spend. Funding flows directly to individual teachers who operate educational LLCs under the administration of the parents whose kids choose their program. Parents direct funds and decisions for their kids, but no one makes decisions for everyone. One educational choice for one student. This system would be infinitely customizable, leading to the adoption of best practices for each student at the best possible price. Sounds like a good deal to me. All those experts can open up LLCs and start competing for students along with the teachers who have been trying to do that all along. This is the system of the future. Decentralized, nimble, child-focused, cutting-edge, really cool. If public school paintings are getting worse by the year, and low-cost, infinitely customizable, and cheaper alternatives are getting better every year, we would have to be complete idiots to keep hiring donkeys to paint our portraits. Are we really that dumb?